Then recite after that. Recite all those who can recite, those meditate on the sound of the prayer that you can hear. Share Ningbo, the heart of wisdom, profession of wisdom there. So the way the Buddha liberate, the way the Buddha liberate us sentient beings from the oceans of suffering of Samsara, the second one, result that cause, not outside, inside one's own mind, sentient beings, their own mind, the delusion and karma. So, the way liberating us sentient beings from the oceans of suffering of samsara and was the cause, the delusion karma. So that is tunam tikpa chui mi tu shing droye tunga chaga mi sela ni yu tokpa shala pamende chunyi tempa tempa trudgers. So it is said, it is mentioned by Buddha that the way the Buddha liberated us sentient beings is not by washing with water. Not about that. Also, the way to check micelas, not in the manner because we're taking the thorn out. That you got thorn, then you see with the hand you take the thorn out, not in that way. And the way the Buddha liberated us, the suffering sentient beings, not in that way. Then how? And then third, how the Buddha liberated us from the oceans of some suffering of samsara and cause the delusion karma. So not by also transplanting not by transplanting Buddha's his own realization within us, and things like the many because we're transplanting the heart into somebody else's heart, or the probably many liver or many transplanted, not in that way. So how then Buddha might want to liberate us sentient beings from the oceans of suffering of samsara? It's the cause is by by actualizing the truth, the ultimate reality. For that, then Buddha has to reveal the truth, ultimate reality. So then, for that, you see, Buddha has revealed. So the main purpose why Buddha descend in this world, why the main reason is so you see to reveal the path, the teachings. So the very essence, the very essential teaching is the truth, ultimate reality, the 12 volumes of the Prajnaparamita, the 12 volumes, and they're about the ultimate nature. Then more condensed 4 volumes. Then then more condensed is 1 volume. So now all those the central teaching of the Buddha, 84,000 teachings Buddha taught, generally. So all that is condensed into the essence of wisdom, the Prajnaparamita, this teaching, which you're going to recite, that one. So all that, all those the first elaborate, the second, then more condensed, then 1 word more condensed. So all are condensed in this. Sherpa Nyingpo, the heart of wisdom, directly mentioned the wisdom, indirectly mentioned the method. So the path to enlightenment, like that. So so this is the I want to mention that, of course, here some might be very new, but however, I just want to my suggestion that before you read, recite, one not just recite blah 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 blah. Of course, it's still worthwhile once you pay attention to that. But once you pay attention to that, of course, it leaves positive imprint in the mind. Even reciting like tape recorder or parrots, the bird parrots. Like that. I'm joking there, because 1,000 parrots are reciting Hatha together. I'm joking there. That would be incredible. If we can make it that, organize that. See. So today's suffering is because you see there was a continuation of suffering yesterday. We didn't get liberated from the oceans of suffering of samsara yesterday. Didn't actualize the path to remove the suffering within our mind. So this year our suffering is because last year didn't get liberated from the suffering of samsara. So, similar, because like that, this life suffering, born with suffering, is because the life before there was continuation of the mind before this life, continuation of the mind. So past life we didn't get to liberate ourselves from the by actualizing path. We see what the teachings of perfection wisdom, this what you see essence wisdom, the sharing what is mentioned, Buddha has mentioned. You see, we didn't get to actualize the past life. The path, you see. The wisdom directly perceiving emptiness, ultimate nature. We didn't get done that like before, so like that. So it goes on like that. So like that from beginningless rebirth, the suffering in samsara, in the sixth realm suffering in the samsara, the human being sura, asura, then one who experience heavy suffering, which is called helplings, then hunger goes, then animals, and then so those we have been experiencing from beginningless rebirth. So then again, if we didn't get to actualize this life, if we didn't get to learn the essence of wisdom, they've gone beyond the wisdom, the perfection wisdom. So if we didn't get to learn this life, didn't get practice, actualize path, didn't get done, then you see, then again, like from beginningless rebirth up to now, continuously without break, even not just one day, but a break for hour, minute, even without break a second, from beginningless rebirth up to now, break from samsara, even for a second. Not at all from suffering, not even second. All of that you see. So as all the students when studying the know, meditating this, you know, the whole entire suffering of samsara, suffering pain and suffering change, all the temporary samsara pleasures, which is nature of suffering. Therefore, it can't be continued and can't be developed, the samsara pleasure. So it's only for a short time. It's mentioned by great Bodhisattva Togme Sangpo. Great Bodhisattva, they're from Tibet, Togme Sangpo, Bodhisattva Togme Sangpo. Sijun Dewa, Zate Salvation, Wisdom Sutra, Jigwe Chuchen. 남양 민주 타베 거방초 돈두니와 제셀라린 소게 부터도 보면서 시중 대화 자제스를 버친소 트리름사 could be, one can be said, the desire realm, formless realm. The happiness is that salvation, like the water dew on the top of the grass, like the water dew on the plant, like that. So this can be just very short time, very short time is there. It can be fall down any time. On the top of the grass, the water dew can fall down, or fall down, or just there, kind of stop just there, the drop. You see, so that there is selection like that. Only short time. So. Wisdom Sutra, it's only for a short time. The nature of the imperishing. Wisdom Sutra, Namya Minju, Tabe Kwacho, that which never changes and changes into suffering or pain. That is the Tabe Kwacho. So that's the enlightenment. Talk about the great nirvana. Great nirvana is full enlightenment. Tabe Kapang Cho. Seeking that is the practice of Bodhisattva. Like that. So the and of course, the ultimate happiness, the nirvana, blissful state of peace. So of course, once achieved, it never changes, like samsara pleasure. And then, of course, the peerless happiness, the full enlightenment, that's forever. So never change into, never decay. So like that. So then seeing that is Tundra Nirvana, seeking that is the Bodhisattva's practice. All that is. So and then those true suffering, pain, suffering change, comes from the third one, pervasive compounding suffering. I think that's the main one. That's the main one that the Buddhists, you see, to understand, to realize the nature of suffering and generally wish to be, by realizing that nature of suffering, unbearable, then to wish to be free from that. Then by actualizing the true path, as Buddha has taught, four noble truths: true suffering, true cause of suffering, and true cessation of suffering, and true path. So by what the Buddha has taught, true path, then what is mentioned in the essence of wisdom there, then by exercising that, then you become liberated, totally. And then from the third suffering, pervasive compound suffering, then you become free as well as from the two other suffering forever. Not just a few years, vacation, kind of like vacation. Few years, then go back to samsara, not like that. Or 7 days, weekend vacation, holiday, and then again you fall down samsara, not like that. You fall down samsara again, not like that. So So they see, so then again, if you don't get to actualize, we didn't get to learn, didn't get to practice exercise part, then I say, so even didn't get exercise, at least, practice. But even didn't get practice, but at least leave positive imprint on the mind, on the mental continuum. We leave positive imprint on the mental continuum. At least. You see, if you have left a positive imprint in the past lives, so these lives, even you didn't study much, there's so many volumes, commentaries, so many texts, even didn't get, just by hearing a little bit, just by studying a little bit, you come to realize. You see, if you have left positive imprint in the past lives, it is power like that. It is a power like that to develop the effect what can happen in your mind in this life. Like that. So anyway, otherwise again endless samsara, the suffering of samsara, all the 6 endless oceans of health suffering, hunger cause, basura, asura, again without end. So that's the most. Cancer. This life you get cancer. Doctor says you have cancer, or you have some disease has no cure, no medicine. It's nothing. That's hardly anything. It's like an atom. It's like from this house, one atom. It's like that. The rest of the building, you see, the one atom, the cancer, or the problem, this life, no cure, whatever causes all those diseases. I have cancer, I have this, that's the heaviness, that's the main fear. That's the main fear you have. You have no idea of suffered from beginning, but no idea at all. Even you think it might be just intellect, no feeling, then I can endless suffering, but no fear, no understanding. You see, no understanding, and then there's something but very intellect, no feeling. Not like that. So that's this. You have some disease, no medicine or cure, or cancer. It's nothing. That's nothing. You see? So now we go with the subject is supposed to be lojong, thought transformation. Look at all the suffering as positive. So you see, teaching all the problems, look at positive. And then how to look at the positive. How to make it beneficial to you, not harmful to you. How to make it beneficial to you. Whatever problem, relationship, whatever, make it useful for you, for your mind. That your mind has been suffering from beginningless rebirth. Make it useful, the mind, to not suffer without end, to not suffer endlessly. You see, the mind to achieve liberation from samsara, to achieve enlightenment. Make it useful for that. Make it useful to your mind to become that. That, you see? Whatever problem, difficult, positive to your mind. Happiness, you see? To transfer into happiness. So that's the teaching. So, so this was my request. Before you recite or read essence of wisdom, they must think that from beginningless suffering samsara, then 6 realms. Then again, you see, if you didn't get to learn, practice, didn't get to actualize path. You know, the true path, wisdom come beyond all this. You see, then I can suffer in samsara, the ocean of suffering of each the 6 realms, each one, without end. Oh, that is the measure. That is the majority of. That's the greatest fear. You see, there's somebody, you have a cancer, you have this, that's nothing. Okay. So as I mentioned before, and now all the problem, difficulties, to look at the positive and to make it highly useful. Yes, for the mind to liberate it from suffering, to achieve the peerless happiness, Buddhahood, enlightenment. Buddhahood, Sanskrit. But it is English, total cessation of obscuration, completion of realization, the Sangye in Tibetan. All that. Okay. That is very important to think that. Then you are so happy. Then you are so happy to read, to listen, to read, write. You see, then to practice, to meditate the meaning. Then to actualize. Then you see the most important, in your life, I mean, you can say nothing else than, you see, this is most important in your life. Oh, the Heart Sutra, you see, to read. Even you don't understand, so to read, to live past the imprint in the mind. To read, write, this basically that's what I practice, meditate, you see, to actualize path, You say how important it is, Lama Chen. Then otherwise just the parrots, parrots recite Heart Sutra, then all table God, blah, like that. Yeah, okay, then. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, please.